This silence is pregnant.
Why are you not on Soot House, though?
Hello, everybody, and welcome back. This is Silent Hill.
And we have just ruined everything in this roof.
Yep.
It's been a long time. It won't be a long time for everyone watching this, but it's been quite a long time for us.
Couple months.
You see, the last video ended with James getting badly hurt, as you can see by the flashing cross in the corner, by falling through a roof, and something like that happened to one of our commentators.
Yeah, Fizz, would you like to tell the class what happened?
First of all, it wasn't a roof.
It was somehow even worse.
No. So, the Monday of reading break, which was also
which
family,
which was
also
ago
family day
at this point. By the way.
which was also family day in Vancouver. I went sledding with someone and his family, and
someone.
And I'm not going to name drop him. He feels bad enough.
He knows what he did.
He really does. He really does. Trust me. So we were sledding, and for those that have sledded, you probably shouldn't go sledding when the ice is really, really slick.
But that's when you get the best speed.
Yes, you do, as I have found out. I pretended I was Sonic for a second, and things went bad.
Are you telling me if you run Sonic speed directly into things, you don't just stop?
Apparently, rings don't just pop out of you.
You'd think,
You would think. But anyways, no, so the sled in question is made of plastic. And this person who I went with sat in front of me, and I was right behind him. And we did a zoomie, and then we suddenly didn't. And we hit a wooden post. Somehow, he ended up fine. Somehow, I wasn't.
Yeah.
Fine is relative. He still has night terrors and also chest pains.
No, he actually doesn't. He's relatively fine.
Okay.
Relatively. But yeah, somehow I broke my ankle.
Yeah, which is, not fun.
No, I mean, you guys seen the video, because of course there was video of the incident. And somehow I broke my ankle. And I didn't know I broke my ankle until I rolled over and looked at my ankle and just went, oh, it's not straight.
Yeah, so you had to go through surgery and
Speaking of disturbing imagery.
Yeah, it's been a lot. Basically, you are an example of the old adage about the unstoppable force meeting the immovable object.
Yeah, I found out one of Newton's laws. An object will stay in motion unless an equal or opposite force stops it. This case in point, a wooden post.
Ugh. You're still in the process of recovering with your ankle, right?
Yeah. So last week, I had stitches taken out. I still have to prop up my leg, and the guy's parents bought me a scooter, so I've been scooting around instead of using crutches, because crutches suck, as it turns out.
I've had to use them myself, and they're not fun in the best of circumstances, and they're especially not fun when you're living in a city that doesn't have the best weather circumstances.
Oh yeah,
when you chainsaw, do not chainsaw the beds. It just doesn't work. That's all I have to
So-
say. Sorry.
So, you have to go through like physical therapy and stuff, right?
At some point.
Eventually.
Like, I see the doctor, well, I guess now in 5 weeks, but I see the surgeon again in a couple weeks. So hopefully by then I will have a walking cast.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. So I can stop using the
Ugh.
scooter. Because while the scooter is great, and I have a basket, the brakes aren't as great as you think they would be. Because a couple times I've almost ate it. Like, full-blown ate shit. Like,
Oof.
going down a slight incline.
Oh, jeez.
That would
Or
be
I'm sorry,
unfortunate.
decline, not incline. It's slight decline.
I think people would know what you meant. Either
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
Is this a bad time for me to mention that I've encountered a glitch in the game
Yes.
Yes.
involving
No.
the
What?
soundtrack just not stopping?
Not.
Oh, this?
It will fix. It'll just take a little while. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
This is supposed to be a silent room.
We're in perpetual enemy state.
Well, I mean,
I
there is
blame
one
this
right
mannequin. Yeah, but the queue's supposed to die when you go through a doorway, but this playthrough, it's like, but I like this soundtrack.
It's a pretty solid soundtrack, so.
there. Although, to be fair, this particular one, I don't think is supposed to sound like this. Because I own the soundtrack.
I also the soundtrack. It doesn't include every, like, the soundtrack that came with the game doesn't include every song.
No,
No,
but
they-
a good chunk of it did, though. Because...
They usually, game soundtracks tend to omit, like, ambient tracks.
Well, you would think that, but Akira Yamaoka is really proud of his work, and so he just
Yeah.
includes everything.
It's fine, as far as I'm concerned. Okay, so this crazy guy that had been falling through the hospital, went and locked up this box with, like, 2 keys and 2 coded padlocks. So what do you think's inside?
This explains so much about the shitty Newgrounds Flash Silent Hill fan games.
Yes. Just
But
wait
what do you
till you see
think's
what's
inside?
inside.
I. Well. Okay. That certainly seems necessary.
Well, you see, if we didn't get those hairs, our hair is not long enough to do what we need to do with those hairs.
What do we need to do?
You'll see.
Just give it a second.
We're not going to be
Yes.
picking locks or anything, are we?
Not exactly. I mean, you're uncomfortably close, but not exactly. I began to regret saving. I was like, what if it, like, reloads? It's, like, just this music track.
Soundtrack's still going.
I mean, I enjoy it.
It is pretty industrial. And I don't know why I'm derping right now, but anyways, it's this room. I have both objects I need.
Oh, we're gonna snake it down the drain.
There we go.
But why?
Because survival horror.
We couldn't just get like rope or string or something?
No.
Well, rope wouldn't go through a needle. And we couldn't find any string, so
Wow, that was
don't drop it.
very easy.
And finally...
Blessed silence.
yeah. Although usually silence is a bad thing in these games, so...
It really is.
I don't remember why I decided to... oh yeah, I was checking to see the soundtracks and come back. The answer is yes.
I mean... Okay, so now that we got to the elevator, what's our,
Well, we weren't able to get in here before. The first floor wing. So clearly this must be where Laura is because it's the last place we've looked.
Remind me, did we already do a boss fight, or do we have one coming up?
One coming up.
Yeah, there's one coming up pretty shortly.
Oh, that's gonna be really good, isn't it?
It's not actually one of the best boss fights in Silent Hill, honestly.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
Like, it's scary, but it's not too crazy hard.
So,
You win all around.
Segways. Speaking of scary and difficult games, I've been playing Dark Souls a lot lately.
I don't know why you do this to yourself, but I say as I play Silent Hill 2 for the 8th time.
Yeah, like 8 times in a row.
Oh, hey, it's Laura.
Oh, hi. Are we gonna get more information about how she sees Silent Hill?
I
Not
believe so,
really.
yes. Kind of. She says one thing that's very interesting.
So many teddy bears.
Laura?
Huh? You know my name?
I love her follow-up to this.
That big fat blabbermouth.
How do you know
Well-
about Mary?
What's the big deal?
Why can't you just tell me?
You gonna yell at me if I don't?
No, I won't.
Yes, I will.
I was friends with Mary. We met at the hospital. It was last year.
You liar! Laura!
Yeah, just scare the poor child.
Fine, don't believe me.
What? Last year?
I won't yell.
Mary
You
was
liar.
already...
No, as you do.
I'm sorry, Laura.
Was already what,
Anyway,
James?
let's go. We can talk about this later. This is no place for a kid. There are all sorts of strange things around here. I can't believe you haven't even gotten a scratch on you.
Why should
Why
I?
should I, she says.
Wait,
Like,
wait,
she doesn't
there's
see
something I gotta
anything
get.
that we're
Later,
seeing.
okay?
But it's really important.
What is it?
A letter from Mary.
Huh?
I want to go get it. Is that okay?
Yes, yes.
So,
Hold on. Hold your thought.
She just has a key to the door. Like, okay. And she acts as suspicious as
Come
possible.
on, hurry up.
Is it in there?
definitely. You go first.
Yeah, in the back.
What are you doing, Laura?
It's further back in the desk.
And... whoopsies.
Laura,
Smash.
what are you doing?
Unfortunate imagery.
Ha ha, I tricked you.
Open the door, Laura.
Well.
Why should I? I'm a liar, right? Want me to open it?
No, if you had just said, please open the door, Laura, I'm sorry, everything would have been fine. But...
The magic word.
Laura?
Okay. I guess I won't open
To be fair, James is kind of seeing some shit right now.
You snotty little
He
brat.
is.
Open up.
See, I would respond by panicking and just being very calm and like, please let me out. Okay.
Boss time.
And since I'm running like without the bullet multiplier on hard mode, I'm ready to use all my shotgun bullets. Just all of them.
So, is the hospital dark for Laura as well? Or does she, like, when she meets up with James there, does she just have his flashlight shining in her face for no reason from her perspective?
There's actually like fan disagreement on whether she's like in normal Silent Hill full of tourists and people, or if she's also in Fog World. But we're pretty sure she's not in this.
Yeah.
So she just doesn't see anything.
Yeah.
Either everything looks abandoned, or else she's just being ignored by literally everyone.
Well, the theory, the most prominent theory is that she's just an abandoned world because she doesn't see fog or anything. Or at least she doesn't make the comment that she sees.
Yeah. It's, at any rate, it's a better theory than the theory that, it's secretly Mary as a child, by the way. That's
Oh,
a
yeah,
theory that
that's-
exists, and I hate it.
That's a dumb theory.
Oh, yes, I have been watching Dean and Natalie videos recently, can you tell?
That sounds like the sort of argument that a D grade student would come up with.
Especially when there's no evidence to prove it. Like, literally none.
The only evidence is that, like, Laura's female. Holy
Yes.
cow.
And has blonde hair.
Yeah.
Remember how I said using up all my shotgun ammo? I was not lying.
Oh no, these things take forever.
So, is this the boss fight, or are these
Yeah.
guys just gonna
There's
become
3 of
normal
them.
enemies later?
Yeah, these guys don't show up in this form again.
Okay. Not really the most imposing boss enemy I've ever seen.
Caught me off guard.
Well, when you've played this the first time, you're just like, why did I just see lips? And
And this is a familiar sequence, don't you think?
I do like this sequence.
I mean, so do I. And then we're here.
Oh, welp.
Oh, notice how the garden is, like, really big on the map?
That. Okay.
Alright, so maybe I could use the blue gem here.
What? Excuse me?
Well, that was interesting. I guess we'll just ignore that for the next 3 videos.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
You just saw step 2 of, like, a 5-step process to get one of the endings. Don't worry about it.
Okay, then.
An ending we will get. Don't worry.
You got all the endings, didn't you?
Yeah, I've acquired all endings at this point.
Especially the one that I really want to see.
Yes.
Now...
And
Yes.
I'm getting 3, including that excellent one,
Yes.
in this playthrough.
Okay.
Perfect.
I was just about to ask, you've gotten all of the endings, but did you record all of the endings?
I recorded 3 because I didn't want to play through the game literally twice more.
Because as we've established, you don't actually like this game.
I have a very strange way of disliking games, it's true.
To be fair, it's a pretty valid excuse.
Oh!
Honestly, I would like this gameplay a lot more if it didn't have all the resurrecting enemies, which they thankfully got rid of in Silent Hill 3.
Oh yeah.
Like, on hard mode, they have literally an 80% chance of resurrecting when you leave a room. I hate it.
But respawning enemies is the best...
Stop.
This is
And
a
then
man,
he turned into one of the notes.
and this is also a guy that has played Dark Souls.
Yeah, I know the pain of respawning it.
Because they respawn like crazy.
All the time. You die or you stop at a checkpoint and all the enemies come back.
I do like how there's 2 different textures for these nurses, and I don't know why.
Well, because variety is a good thing.
All of them were clean in the other version, but some of them are not clean in this version. But only some.
How ominous?
I don't even know, man.
Speaking of which, are we in Dark World right now?
Yeah. Can you tell?
I was gonna say it seems like it, but you can't
It's
really
not-
be too sure.
It's not as bloody as like every other Dark World. This
No,
is actually
but-
one of the least bloody Silent Hills.
No, but Dark World sucks though.
Yeah. Because the enemies are a bit faster and hit harder. And there's more of them. But yeah, it's interesting how this is the most popular Silent Hill, and even though Silent Hill's famous for like its extreme graphicness, like this is like the least graphic of the Silent Hills.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, it's... You say that, but then there's still those scenes with Pyramid Head, so...
Different kind of graphic.
Come in.
So what are we doing at the moment?
There are hands. At this point, we are just like, how do I even get out of here? I can't even get to the main part of the hospital anymore.
Explaining to me that there are hands does not explain what we're doing.
The thing is, you keep asking this. Like, what are we doing? He says. Despite the fact that it's the same in every adventure game. We are trying to find our way out of current situation.
I mean... Yeah. You'd think I would learn by now.
I
but-
would. But you somehow never do.
It's because like I'm so much more into games that aren't just like figure your way out of the escape room, basically.
But it's me running this current game. No, I'm not even dealing. Oh, Resurrection. I hate it.
Well, because like even in Dark Souls, where you're not being like explicitly guided on where you're going, like the point of the game is still like you're not just like wandering back and forth in like between rooms trying to find a key. I don't know.
You see, some of us actually enjoy this gameplay. I don't know what to tell you.
It's actually like it's a very there is a large similarity between Dark Souls and like this kind of adventure game, and the subtle difference between it is really hard for me to actually kind of like grasp. Because it is very similar in like the way that you go about through the world.
Well, I don't know what to tell you.
Well, I mean, you don't play Dark Souls, so
I tried. I got annoyed. Like I didn't even like get upset because it was hard. I got upset because I was just annoyed. I was like, this is too high of a difficulty gauge. Like,
well,
and
yeah,
it's not that I'm bad at games. I'm playing this on hard with no bullet adjust.
one of the things that I always say about the Souls games is that they are most definitely not games for everybody, and that's okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would agree that they're not for me.
I think I think the big problem, quote marks problem, is just that Dark Souls got so famous that a lot of people went into the game thinking, "Oh, this might be a game for me," and then it turned out
It wasn't.
Yeah.
I do question why he is hitting the nurse in the spot which he is.
Well,
That's not very classy.
'cause
Camera, please.
I will say, I tried Dark Souls 2 and I enjoyed it. But like,
that's
but
further than I
Blighttown
got.
just killed me.
Well, that was the first one.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Dark Souls. But
2 is in. Oh, okay.
yeah, sorry. I have the first one. I bought it, and Blighttown just killed me. I just
Yeah.
couldn't.
It's So the secret for me is that I don't actually go through Blighttown the
Come in.
normal way because there's a back door. So
Yeah, no worries.
Oh yeah, yeah. The back door is.
And
what
you got
like,
the sock that was by the trash
first
can?
game for me, honestly.
Oh, cool.
I was just like, oh look, here's a door, and I go through, and I immediately get murdered by some giant thing that I was totally unprepped for. I'm like, well, not going through that game again.
a lot of with the first Dark Souls, a lot of people when they first got to Firelink Shrine, they started running off towards the graveyard, and
Oh, like me? I quickly figured out I was going the wrong way.
yeah, immediately got murdered by the giant skeletons, and it was like, oh yeah, that's not the way to go. Yeah, it
I
actually
feel knowing that there is a player out there somewhere who's beaten Dark Souls and does
without
not,
leveling up.
Oh, that's
Not
right.
only
4
that-
o'clock?
but does
Oh, okay.
not realize for the life of them that the graveyard is the
Okay,
wrong
I'll
way to
remind
go.
the boys.
They just fought
Yeah.
through it,
Right?
being
But,
like,
like-
it's supposed to be hard, so I guess this is pretty hard.
The best logic. Like, I've literally seen people argue that sort of thing before.
Uh-oh, we have no
It's-
Maria.
Oh no.
Is Maria sick now too?
Great.
Dum, dum, dum.
There's some fun underlaying there.
But, so, yeah, the reason I stopped Dark Souls, the first one, is just because, like, I got fairly far, but, like, I got to the top and I was right before I rung the first bell. And I just got so frustrated that I was just like, you know
Yeah.
what, I'm just going to shelve this for a while. And then I
It-
never came back to it. I should
well,
really
y-
restart the game again. I mean, I enjoyed it, but yeah.
I would recommend that because like I've related this in our Dark Souls LP actually, that like the first time I seriously tried to play the game, I completely stopped when I got to the Crystal Caves, and I didn't play it for like 2.5 years until we did the LP, and like doing that LP with Jacob was what kind of inspired me to actually play the game again, and that was what finally got me past like kind of the difficulty block that I had, and then I finally managed to actually beat the game.
I don't
Yeah,
know why I
yeah.
keep insisting on chainsaw, but I do.
Well, because it's cool.
If you manage to actually hit anything with it, it's the best. Keywords here: if you manage to hit anything.
Because
with
it's
it.
kind of the worst
Yeah.
weapon in the game,
Yeah.
Yeah, except for when it's the best weapon.
which is rare.
Like when you face off against the first abstract daddy, it is the best weapon in the game.
Well, that's because I told you.
And you saved my butt because I was trying to fight that thing on hard, just like without the chainsaw, and it took me like 8 tries.
And then I just
Now-
swooped down. You know you can use a chainsaw, right?
And I got it in 1 try.
I don't know what most of the names of enemies are in this game, so I don't know what enemy you're talking about.
Well, here's a hint. The abstract daddy, you'll know it because it's someone's daddy.
I presume we haven't seen it yet then?
No.
That would be correct.
Okay. Ah!
But I think the other reason why I stopped playing Dark Souls, the first one, sorry to keep going back, is
No.
that I played as a pyromancer, and I quickly
That was a bad
realized,
idea.
that was a mistake.
See, playing as a caster is fine overall if you're already like pretty decent at the game, but
See, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Because normally my thought is like, ooh, I like pyromancer, but I know well enough not to be a rogue, because I love rogues.
Yeah.
So,
Now,
And then I'm playing Titan Quest nowadays, where the rogue is the best class, and the pyromancer is also the best class.
if you so desire, Fizz, you could always watch our LP of Dark Souls to accompany trying to start the game again.
so here's a fun fact. The current setup I have right now, because all my consoles are at my desk, but I can't sit at my desk for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
I'm sitting at the quote-unquote living room. We tried hooking up my PS3 and it didn't work. For whatever reason.
James.
Oh, hi, Maria.
Mary?
Oh.
Oh,
Oh,
Oh.
he
Oh.
done goofed.
it's you.
Oh.
I thought you
He
were.
has done goofed.
Sorry.
I thought you were
Anyway,
sorry?
I'm glad
What
you're
are you
alive.
talking about, James?
Thought that she was
Anyway,
Mary,
what
his
do you
dead
mean,
wife.
anyway? You don't sound very happy to see
Whoa.
me. I was almost killed back there. Why didn't you try to save me? All you care about is that dead wife of yours. I've never
Oh,
been
snap.
so scared in my whole life. You couldn't care less about
Holy
me.
cow.
Would you?
I mean, not really wrong?
No, I
Then
just.
stay with me. Don't ever leave me alone. You're supposed to take care
I'm
of
not
me.
saying that she's projecting something, but
So, what about
Also, I've just
Laura?
noticed that she
Did
has
you
pink
find her?
tips.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
but
she's had
Oh,
pink
yeah.
tips.
she ran away.
Hmm.
We've
I don't
got
think
to
I ever
find her.
realized that before.
I think even her model is pink tips.
You really seem to care about her.
It's hard to tell,
Do
though.
you know
Yeah, I
her?
can't really tell
I've
from here.
never met her before.
There we go. Yeah, she
I
does.
just feel sorry for her.
Hmm.
She's all alone. And for some reason, I feel like it's up to me to
For some
protect her.
reason.
For some reason.
Now, what the game doesn't tell you is that this all took place in the basement that you just immediately left, but you need to go back down because
Because.
you needed that
Oh.
copper ring on the floor.
Well,
Spider ring.
yeah,
Because there's a speeder on it.
okay. That's.
And we'll go off to find the other one in the next video.
And more shenanigans.